Hello, and welcome to Amplify ELA Lesson 2. Focus on a movement. This is Mr. D. First, we need to get started. So in your ELA folder, you will find Get Started Lesson 2. Write your name at the top of the paper. You will need to write between 3 to 5 sentences that describe a moment in time that grabbed your attention. This moment could have happened anytime, anywhere, with anybody, as long as it grabbed your attention and you remember. Try to use precise details to describe this moment. The precise details could include sensory details, for example, what you heard, what you saw, tasted, touched, or smelled. Physical actions, what somebody was doing or did at that time. Dialogue, what someone said, or your feelings at the time. Go ahead and take about 5 minutes or so, or however long it takes you, to write 3 to 5 sentences about this moment. And remember, you can pause this video at any time. So, today we're talking about focusing on one moment. To focus means to write only about one moment in time in order to fully develop that idea. Good writers practice this by adding details to smaller moments. They go back and look at those moments and see if they can find any details they could add. So to practice this, go to page 9 in your journal and read what you wrote from the previous lesson. Find one place in your writing from page 9 where you think you could add more precise details to focus on that specific moment even more. Once you have found this, you can highlight it so you don't forget which one it is. And you'll need to go to page 10 in your writing journal and write 2 more sentences with precise details to describe this moment. The journal is this one, Dull and Narrative. And make sure you go to page 10 and do that. Take a few moments to finish that up. Pause this video if you need to. Let's practice some observation. I want you to brainstorm, which means think really hard about it. 5 locations that you find yourself in during a normal school day. Go to page 11 in your writing journal and write these 5 locations down in your journal on the lines provided in your journal. What 5 locations did you write down? Well, when I think about this question, 5 locations come to my mind. The courtyard, in between the church and the school, the restroom, the teacher's lounge, the cafeteria, the classroom. Did you come up with some of the same locations as me? You probably should have come up with at least a few. Now think about what happens to you in these locations. The courtyard is where I enter the school to go clock in. The restroom is where I go rest. The teacher's lounge is where I put my lunch in the refrigerator. The cafeteria is where I sometimes eat lunch. And the classroom is where I teach. Write and share. Turn to page 12 in your writing journal. It's time to write for 10 minutes. Do you remember the rules for writing? Use the whole time to write. Don't get distracted. Make sure you're using the whole time. Ask for help once if necessary, then continue writing. So if you need to ask me a question or a parent or an older sibling, you can do that. But make sure you get back to writing as quickly as possible. Keep focused on your own work. Don't distract people around you. If that's classmates, don't distract them. If that's your parents, don't distract them. Focus on your work. And no talking. No trips for water, no breaks to the bathroom, no surfing. Nothing like that. Gotta keep writing for 10 minutes. Before you begin, check the time, set a stopwatch, keep track however you like, but write for 10 minutes. Now, be on page 12. Are you on page 12 in your writing journal? You need to write about one moment when you saw or did something new or unexpected. Go ahead and pause this video and write for 10 whole minutes. Try to sustain that writing. Keep it going. Don't stop. Write as much information as you can. Use as many details as you can. What did you write about? I'm sure it was awesome. Here's my example. If you want to listen to it, you want to read it, go ahead. Certainly don't have to, but this might give you an idea of the writing that we're looking for. I remember when I hiked to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. It was about 15 years ago. I traveled to the Grand Canyon with some teacher friends I had at the time. It was summertime and it was hot. I was very excited to hike to the bottom since I enjoy hiking and being outdoors. We started mid-morning around 10 o'clock and began the hike. The Grand Canyon is beautiful with soaring cliffs, various colors of rocks, and lots of animals. The hike to the bottom took me 7 hours. We had to wind our way back and forth along the trail, crisscrossing our way to the bottom. Once we were at the bottom, we got settled into cabins there and hungrily ate a wonderful dinner that was prepared for us. We slept in the cabins like babies since we were so tired from the hike. The hike was so grueling. The temperature at the bottom of the Grand Canyon must have been over 100 degrees by the time we got going. The hike up took me 9 long hours. I had to stop many times along the way and rest. When I finally arrived, I was so grateful to go inside and order a nice cool drink. It was a time I will never forget, but I probably won't hike to the bottom again. I put some details in there, some sensory details, what I saw, what it felt like, descriptions of things. So your writing should have some of the similar types of ideas. Use some sensory details, what people did, maybe what people said, something like that. Anyway, that's the end of Amplify Lesson 2. I hope you enjoyed your writing, and I will see you again. Thanks. Have a good day.